From the Watchbox Studios, this is On Point on Watchbox with Cynthia Hardy.
Good morning, Merry Christmas, and welcome to On Point on Watch. It's a pleasure to bring you this show each and every week, and we do hope that you'll take the opportunity to tune into the radio talk show on 101.3 on Sunday evenings, the Big DM. Today we have our holiday show, and we thought we would share with you the musical stylings of three extremely talented artists. We have Terence Young, we have Sheldon Ferguson, and we also have Dante Lewis. Joining me on the set right now is Terence Young, jazz guitarist. And Terence, thank you and welcome to On Point on Watchbox.
Thank you for having me, Cynthia.
You know, Terence, I'm delighted to have you and Dante and Sheldon Ferguson here today. And you all the rave all over the state of South Carolina, but also outside of the state as well. And some of the people that you've worked with include Ashford Simpson, Joe Sample. Also, I know you from your jazz in the parks that you've done, and bringing all of that talent front and center to the area. And so we're delighted to have you here. But I also understand that you're going to open for George Clinton for the city's New Year's celebration.
Yes, and I'm excited to open for a funk legend like George Clinton. I'm a big fan of his, yes.
Oh, it's going to be really exciting, and I think so many people are just so excited about that that's coming up for New Year's Eve. When we talk about artists and whether or not artists actually get their just due in the state of South Carolina, you travel all over, but how do you feel? Do you feel like it's harder to make it coming from South Carolina?
Well, not necessarily. You have Hootie, who made it here. And there's this country group called Alabama. They actually got discovered in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's just, you know, I just think it's, if we can get, I think artists like myself and Dante and Sheldon, we're starting to make national buzzes. So it just takes something like that to happen, and I think people will finally see.
Your latest CD, because you have 6,
right?
But your latest CD is getting a lot of attention, and you've got one on the horizon as well.
Love Stories did very well for me. It charted 37 on the National Smooth Jazz charts, and my new CD is called The Guitar Diary. That is, it's released in January. It's like a spin-off of Love Stories. Some nice love tunes on there. I'm excited about that also.
Well, you know, a number of people look up to you in the marketplace as one of those people that has proven that you can be local and then you can go beyond, because first you started venturing out regionally, and now you are making noise on the national scene as well. When we think about artists like Dante Lewis, it's coming up right now, and Sheldon Ferguson, who's that prodigy that I mentioned, what kind of advice do you have as they're looking at getting their music out there?
Well, you know, marketing is definitely the key. They all have the talent, but the marketing and then just the continued support from the home base. If we can get that support and get the home base, that, you know, we got Facebook now, Twitter. I mean, you can
a lot of ways.
Yeah, a lot of ways. You can tweet people across seas, you know, or anywhere. Say Dante Lewis. Check out Dante Lewis. Check out Sheldon Ferguson, Terence Young, and I think the nation will finally come together and see that, you know, we have some great talent.
Well, speaking of great talent, we're about to hear the musical stylings of jazz guitarist Sheldon Ferguson. I told folks that he's an 18-year-old prodigy, Spring Valley High School student, but this guy is somebody really to watch.
You're watching On Point on Watchbox with Cynthia Hardy on Columbia's own Watchbox.
Welcome back to On Point on Watchbox. Today we're expressing our celebration of the holiday season, the joy of the holiday season. And for that, we have assembled three outstanding musical artists: jazz guitarist Terence Young, saxophonist Dante Lewis, and I call him a prodigy, an 18-year-old prodigy jazz guitarist, Sheldon Ferguson. Sheldon, thank you for being here on the set with us. And we have just, been entertained by your musical stylings, and I've shared with people how impressed everybody seems to be when they hear you play. And it's interesting because I understand it wasn't until you were 11 years old that you even started taking lessons and started playing.
Yeah, that's right.
So, at 15, you were at the Juilliard School of Music summer camp.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that.
It was really cool. It was like I think just a week-long program we had over the summer. Just like a lot of high school jazz musicians and just some really talented people, that were my own age and a little bit older, a little bit younger. And, we got to play with the professors and take master classes. It was really cool.
Tell me about your time at Berkeley, playing with the professors there.
Yeah, I went up to Berkeley like spring break of last year, and I got to sit down with like some of the professors and just get some master classes, some lessons, and just some pointers as far as my playing and trying to, pursuing getting into the school. So that was a really great experience for me.
Your CD is called The Brighter Side. Talk to us about what you're expressing on The Brighter Side.
The Brighter Side is like, let's see, how do I describe it? It's like, the songs were mostly written by myself, and it just sort of my own kind of blend of smooth jazz and R&B and gospel. It's all the stuff that I play, all the stuff that I like kind of mixed together in my own sort of original kind of music, I guess.
When people say to you that you're not like the normal 18-year-old, do you know that that's the case, that you're not?
I kind of feel like it sometimes.
I bet you do. I mean, I bet you do. Because there was even some discussion among a number of professionals that I personally know, musical professionals who know you, and they were debating as to whether or not it was actually more advantageous for you to go to college and get your degree now or go on a world tour because your talent is just so extraordinary.
Right.
What are you going to do?
I still plan on, as of right now, I think I want to go straight to college. I'm still kind of trying to keep it open, but, especially if I get into Berkeley, that's really where I want to go and what I want to do. I think anything I do is just going to help that anyway, so,
we're going to bring on one of the other artists who's performing on this show with you, Dante Lewis, and I've been equally as impressed with Dante's skills as a saxophonist. What can you say about that?
No, Dante is great. I've seen him perform several times, saw him open up for Norman Brown. It's, one of the many talents we have in Columbia.
Well, with that having been said, I think that's a perfect segue for us to go ahead and pitch to Dante Lewis, who's going to be performing here in our studios on Point on Watchbox. Here comes Dante.
You're watching On Point on Watchbox with Cynthia Hardy on Columbia's own Watchbox.
Welcome back to On Point on Watchbox, and we are celebrating the joy of the season with three outstanding musical performers today. You just heard the stylings of Dante Lewis, that outstanding saxophonist, and I have him right here on the set. Welcome, Dante, to On Point on Watchbox.
Thanks for having me, Cynthia.
Oh, man. I mean, Dante, your work is just absolutely wonderful. You know, when I look at your bio and I understand that places as far away as California are touting the fact that you're just great. You're featured in a magazine there, magazines here, but anywhere that anybody goes and they hear you, they go away talking about Dante Lewis. And you know that, don't you?
That's right. That's a good problem to have.
That is. Now, Byron counts as your producer.
Yes.
And we all know Byron. He's a talented musician within himself. And so the work that you've been able to get out there to do, Set the Mood, your new CD.
Set the Mood is the first CD, and my latest CD is gospel jazz entitled Songs of a Servant.
Oh, yes.
That's my latest. It released in August, and I released that in D.C.
Wow. Now, what was that like to release it in Washington, D.C.?
Oh, it was great. I was a featured artist at the Progressive National Baptist Convention, and that's where I actually released it at in front of 7,000 people.
Wow.
So it was excellent. It was
now,
excellent.
the mood that you set by your playing, you know, everybody talks about the sexiness of the saxophone and all of that. It is a sensuous kind of sultry instrument. What kind of responses do you get in a gospel setting with your saxophone?
It's almost in the same way, but in more of a spiritual way for us, the gospel jazz, because the saxophone is a, as they call a sexual instrument, but at the same time it tells a lot. And the difference with the main thing with saxophone, it comes from the inside of you. It's actually what you're feeling inside your body. It's what you're blowing out for the people to hear and feel.
Now, you released the CD at the Gospel Convention in front of 7,000 people. There's a concert coming up in January that you're going to be performing at as well. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I would be in Charlotte, North Carolina, with a promoter up there named Tammy Green. I'm doing a free concert at Fan Sports Bar and Grill, January the 28th. So definitely, if you're in the area, if you feel like coming up, please come up and support. You'll really enjoy this concert.
Now, you heard Terence, and you also heard Sheldon being interviewed as well, and I know you think a lot of those artists too.
Yes.
It must feel really good because you all are all coming along at a time when people seem to be really tuned in to your music, and I don't know that that is always the case with audiences being so ready to receive you.
Well, it's just like the thing that my philosophy is I always want to give, especially my hometown, I always want to give the people something to do. And whenever I post something or Facebook emails or whatever, news, wherever, that I'm doing a concert or Terence Young is doing a concert, Sheldon, or any other local artists in the Columbia area, people just flock to it because it's something different, and it's just a lot of flavor that I bring, Terence bring, and Sheldon bring, and other artists here. So people always feel like, yeah, I got to go see this. I got to see Dante. I got to see Terence.
Well, and that must make you feel very good.
Yeah, it makes me feel real good. For two reasons. One is that I'm bringing something to the people, and also second is that the people are actually receiving what I'm giving.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, you know, you mentioned Terence Young, and we haven't heard from Terence. We haven't heard Terence play yet on the show. We had Sheldon play and had you play, so I think this is a really good segue. Now, Terence has been around longer than you have.
Yes.
And so when you think about Terence and his abilities and what's out there, was there anything about Terence and the path he paved that assisted you?
Yes, with Terence Young just like really got out there in the streets and just showed Columbia, hey, we got talent right here. You don't have to drive to Atlanta. You don't have to drive to Charlotte. We got it right here. So when he paved that road, I just got on that road and stayed with him.
That sounds good. Well, that sounds like a perfect introduction for Terence Young, ladies and gentlemen. We hope that you will enjoy the musical stylings now of Mr. Terence Young.